Hi everybody, welcome to another edition of James Jam. I'm Jane, this is my jam. Just coming today with a Saturday video for you, and I was tagged by Fuchsia Floyd, or Eva from Fuchsia Floyd, to do a video in terms of good luxury good luxury decisions I have made. So that's what I'm doing the video on today. I believe she was tagged by Nick Snell. I'm not sure if he started the video or started the tag. I think he did. So just want to thank you very much, Eva, for the tag, and glad to do this. I thought it was a really interesting topic, and so far I've watched Nick's and Eva's videos, and really like the way the direction they took their tags. So I'm just going to put my spin on it. And so the first thing I'm going to say is my purchase of my first Chanel, and also not being afraid to buy sight unseen, kind of. What I mean is, as far as luxury and everything goes, to give you a little background, I had no interest whatsoever in luxury, never crossed my mind. I thought it was just crazy that people would buy Louis Vuitton and spend that kind of money, and a purse is a purse, and I was madly in love with Coach. Always have been, still am. And so I'm like, why? Why, when you can buy Coach and it's pretty reasonable, why on earth would you spend money on these other bags? At the time, I had no idea about the history of any of these places. Never even took it into consideration, never even entered my head. Well, I don't know how it happened, but somehow I happened upon Minnie from Minx for All's video. I still don't know how or why I ever got there, like how it came on my radar. And she was just very sociable. She's easy to watch. She's interesting. But the biggest thing was she just had this huge passion for luxury, not luxury, for these fashion houses. I had never thought about it before. The craftsmanship, the history of the brand, the again, style, craftsmanship keeps coming back to mind. I am a big crafter, and I really like things that are made with your hands, and things that people take pride in doing themselves, that are not mass marketed, that are not just off the assembly line kind of thing. I just always have really enjoyed crafting, and even though I'm not always the greatest at things, I like to say that things, imperfections, are what make them perfect in the end. So, that being said, I really started to listen to her, and did my own research then. Some on Chanel, some on Louis Vuitton. Those are probably the two primary ones I looked at in the beginning. And then I thought, is luxury for me? I'm an overweight, middle-aged girl, lady. All you see online is these thin, beautiful celebrities and models and everything else using luxury. I mean, maybe luxury was not in my future, past, anytime. And then again, coming back to Minnie, she was a jeans and Vans girl, and I love jeans and Vans. In fact, now that I mention that, maybe Vans and whatever titles got me, because I adore Vans and Converse and things like that. But then I thought, you know what? It took me a lot of years to learn that my weight and my size and my looks and what I have is so minuscule in terms of who I am as a person, that there was just no way that any of that was going to stand in my way if I decided that I wanted to purchase something. And maybe the world needs to see a few more plus-size, middle-aged women that want to go out and spend their money. We have money. It reminds me of Fried Green Tomatoes in Towanda, and when the main character crashes into someone's car and just says, "Face it, girls, I'm older and I have more insurance." That's kind of how I think about in terms of some of these things. I mean, we're not really marketed to, but we're finally at a place in our life where this is actually doable in a reasonable way. And I don't see why you wouldn't want to market to that. I mean, I get the whole aesthetic, but that's a whole nother discussion for another day. But bottom line, I came to the realization that I deserved luxury if I wanted it, and I wanted to look into it. So I went to Minneapolis, Mall of America, because again, my state doesn't have any luxury. I live in Wisconsin. There is no luxury stores to be had in Wisconsin, none. Even though we have Milwaukee, no luxury. There is a Nordstrom's, does not carry luxury items in it. I mean, I take that back. There may be some Longchamp there, is it MCM? But no Chanel, no Gucci, no Louis Vuitton, no Tiffany. I mean, there's nothing like that here. So I went to the Mall of America and I geared myself up and I walked into Nordstrom. And first I walked into Prada. And I bought myself this beautiful leather. Actually, I have it right here next to me. I bought myself beautiful. No, now I won't be able to find it as I try to pull it out. Actually, it's upstairs. So, no, okay. So I bought myself a beautiful Prada wallet. Then I walked into Gucci, and that one I do have here. And I looked around, and I bought myself this Gucci wallet. And then came the big one. I hemmed and hawed about walking into Chanel, and then I did it. And I had the kindest, sweetest sales associate, Constance, or Connie was her name. She now works for Dior, but she was in Chanel at the time. And she made me feel like a queen. I mean, like, just showing me everything and bringing me out everything. And she was just so excited that this was going to be my first possible first Chanel purchase, and showed me all the bags. It opened up behind the scenes, and just, it was a phenomenal experience. And I walked in with a t-shirt and jean shorts, tennies, and my little Coach purse. And it didn't matter. It didn't matter. It was just a wonderful experience. I did end up purchasing a bag. I purchased a boy bag, which is adorable, and I probably could have brought it down here, but that again wasn't really part of this, because it could have been. But it started my whole journey. That trip to Minneapolis got me started to where I am today. So my decision was to not be afraid to go forward, to not be afraid to get what you want, and you deserve it. It's not like, I know a lot of people have said that luxury has no gender, and I would agree with that, but it also doesn't have any main purchasers. Anybody can do it. Anybody can want it. And I'm just so glad that I took that chance. And another thing that I had to begin taking chances on, which leads me to kind of my second luxury decision, was not being afraid to buy things that you hadn't seen in person. And so what case in point was going to be this. This is my Chanel walk, my wallet on chain. I just absolutely adore this bag. It opens up. It's got the burgundy interior, like they do the Chanel burgundy. It's in silver hardware, silver chain. But I heard these were great, and my sales associate at the time sent me a picture, and to me that was a lot of money to spend. I think it was around $3,000 at the time, maybe 25. But to me, it was a lot of money to spend without having seen it and held it in my own little hands. And I do believe a picture speaks 1,000 words, and now I believe so even more, because I bought that and I've never looked back. Because again, I live in a state that doesn't have any luxury. I buy pretty much everything I buy, only buy through pictures. And you can trust that. You can trust the process. I didn't know if you could. I was afraid. I mean, you got a whole nother level of fear when you're buying like through a consignment or like Fashion File, things like that. But I really trust, there's a number of places I really trust, Fashion File being one of them, that you're getting authentic pieces. But also buying directly from a store just over the phone or through text, I was afraid to do it first. and I took my first step at it, and I've never, like I said, I've never looked back. I have not really had any issues from anywhere buying online. If you have to return it, there's not been problems. I've just been very pleased with everything I've done that way. So if you're ever afraid to do things that way, don't be. It I don't know. I've had a really good experience. The next thing, luxury decision that I'm so glad I did, is not being afraid to purchase vintage or older pieces. So I went to Fashion File and started out slowly there as well. But this was the first thing I bought. And this is a Louis Vuitton Hudson. I always get the Hudson and the Manhattan mixed up. I adore this bag. This bag was under $1,000, and this bag is phenomenal. You've heard it said 1,000 times. The canvas is different from years ago. It is thicker. The bag is substantial. I just absolutely adore this. I kept thinking, is it gonna stink? Why are they selling these so cheap, so to speak? Because again, under $100. But this bag is just beautiful. Beautiful vachetta. My interior, which I have a little bit of stuffing in now, was this microfiber. It is perfect. There is not a stain on it. My strap is great. And this bag is beautiful. And now I've bought newer bags. I've bought brand new bags from Louis Vuitton. And not that there's anything wrong with them, because I'm glad, I'm pleased to have them. They're new, they're mine. But I would never, ever now shy away from buying older bags. This was only cemented by watching Caleb Snell. Caleb buys a lot of pre-loved older bags, and they are beautiful. I recently purchased, I like to do this every once in a while. I was going through Fashion File, and I searched on Chanel, and I went lowest to highest price. And I'm paging through some stuff, and all of a sudden I come to this Chanel tote. And I'm like, what's that? And it was this jersey brown tote, and with a patent leather bottom. And you've seen me unhaul or reveal it already. It's got an orange leather interior. That bag is phenomenal. That bag is, I think I figured, almost 25 years old. And it's gorgeous. It stands the test of time. The craftsmanship is beautiful. It is just a gorgeous bag. And again, it was under $1,000. I think it was around $600. It was like marked down to 30%. Doesn't smell, I mean, it was great. So, very, very good luxury decision that I've made was not being afraid to look at the older bags and not being afraid to move forward on them, because like this is a thing of beauty. This just is. I've had really great success. The last thing that last really good luxury decision I made, and to me, honestly, this is probably the best one, and this is going to be controversial, I am sure, to many people, but the best luxury decision to me that I have ever made was deciding that, and I'm going to just kind of show you here, just trying to get some stuff to not fall out. This is just a section. And it is that buy the SLGs. Buy them. To me, that is to me, that was the best decision. I can't say that I really necessarily get FOMO. And I think that's because I have a piece of it all as far as I'm concerned. I mean, come on, these bags, these fashion houses, they put out just beautiful, lovely things. And, I know Meredith kind of gets it, but with the bags. And she would probably argue me, no, buy the bags. And I get that. And if that's, it fits within your lifestyle, that's fantastic. For me, that isn't a possibility. I would love to buy all these bags, but it's just not a possibility. Number one, space. I don't know that I'd have space for everything like that to keep them safe and protected like I would want to keep them. Number 2 would be, I don't want to worry about anybody coming into my house and stealing them again. I know that's what insurance is for, but you gain emotional attachments to these things. So just knowing you can get the same bag back isn't the same thing. And just affordability, just not within my lifestyle to be able to do that. I would love it, but it's not. So what I decided to do, and what I started doing really early, was with my trip into Minneapolis, is buying SLGs. And I feel like I get a taste of everything that way. And I'm a very textile like person or whatever. I need to touch everything. I want to feel everything. I like to smell, feel, touch. I mean, I'm very, very touchy. I walk by things and I have to touch them. And so this has just kind of given me the best of all worlds. I mean, I have, Gucci in the wall, this beautiful pebbled pink leather. So I got the pink color I like, and I get to use it and touch it. The standard Gucci with the webbing that I just showed. I have just multiple, a Balenciaga card holder, so I get to see what that's like. Chanel little boy leather. I get the iridescent leather as I throw the SLG. I wanted some of the rose gold. I have that. I wanted some of the, I wanted something lavender. Aspinall London card holder. Versace. I mean, I got my little triangle things here. Dior. I get, is it the Carnage print? That's probably not the right word. And is this the oblique? I'm terrible with names. But I get a little bit of everything, and I get it that a lot of people say, well, they're so expensive. Why wouldn't you just save up your money? And, after you bought a few of them, you could buy a purse. But, especially with Chanel, that's not really the case. I mean, if I'm buying this from Chanel for $600, if I wanted to buy a classic flap now in like a jumbo size like I like, it's not just a couple of these. It's, what is that now? Like 12, let's see, 12, I'm trying to add in my head. That's really good to do on camera. But you'd have to buy over 10, 15 or more of these in order to get one Chanel classic flap. So to me, this was, Fendi say is a little bit more affordable if I get it right. I mean, these usually go for what, around $800, $1,000. These little charms, and you can get a Fendi bag for what, around $4,000, $5,000. So these, yeah, I kind of get the point. If you bought, say, 4 of these or 5 of these, you could have a full-size Fendi bag. But then not only that, you could do that, but that's not just 1 or 2. That's a substantial piece of money, which then I'd have to save for, and then I'd have to put away for, and then I'd have to wait for. And by the time that I got there, I probably wouldn't even want it. Or maybe I wouldn't want it anymore. And if I got to that point and I did still want it, who's to say I'm going to stay in love with that the entire time I have it? And now I just spent so much time and energy just to get there. And now what if I don't love it? What if I don't love it? If I don't love this, I can probably sell this back to Fashion File for about, for sure 75% of what I purchased it for. But even online or through other means, maybe I'll just sell for exactly what I bought it for. I'm not out a whole lot. Bags are a different story. I absolutely fell in love with a Dior bag. We all know that, the Dior Carol. I love it. Thank goodness I love it, because the second that baby ends up in your hot little hands, it's worth at least $1,000 less than it was when you bought it. At least $1,000. And that kind of stinks, because then what if you don't love it? What if you have it for a year and then it doesn't make your heart sing and you didn't carry it a whole lot? You are out, no matter what, bar none, you're out probably $1,000 immediately. But if I buy an SLG, a little, say, just to show a little bit something here as I grab through my box of goodies, I was just going to try to show a different Dior here. Okay, so say I bought this from Dior, like I did. because I absolutely loved this blue and I just couldn't deny it. I had to have it. So I decided on this little card holder. It opens up like this. It's just beautiful. So say I get this and I decide that this just isn't my color or doesn't fit into my lifestyle the way that I thought it was going to. I can probably sell this. No, I can sell this. I can probably get about what I paid for it out of it, or again, probably close to what I paid for it out of it, 75% less or whatever. Accordingly, like if you're going to sell back to somewhere, say I even only get half back of what I purchased it for. Well, half from like $600 I'm only out $300. That's a lot different than $1,000. So to me, I'm super happy that I went the SLG route. I just am. I think it was a good decision. You get a little piece of everything. I mean, I feel like I have everything. I have O cases in different textures and leathers, and some of the raffia, and I have denim. I have the oblique again. I have I even do the same kind of thing with Coach. Fendi I've been into again lately, so I have their kind of coated canvas. I have Louis Vuitton. You get the best of all worlds to me that way. So that to me was a really good luxury decision that I made. So that's what I have for you today. Those are the luxury decisions that I've made that I thought were good luxury decisions. I mean, it's luxury. It's going to be kind of frivolous or whatever it may be otherwise, but then again, to me, it's luxury, it's craftsmanship, it's working with your hands, getting bags people touched. Machines didn't make them all. So this was just a fun video to put together and do. Again, thank you very much, Eva, for tagging me for this. I'd like to tag let's see, Candy Sweet Love for LV to do this, and I'm trying to think, Dawn Loves Couture. If she wasn't already tagged, she probably was. And Caleb Snell. I would love to hear what Caleb had to say too. And honestly, if you aren't tagged, please feel free to do this tag. Say I tagged you. I'll put a bunch of names down in the description box as well that I'll tag for the video, just because smaller channels starting out like mine, we don't always get included in a lot of tags and things like that, and tags can be very helpful to help get you going and help you with content and things like that. So I just want to make sure that everybody feels like they have a chance to do this. Kevin, you're out there, you're tagged. Thank you so much for watching, and please do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing if you're not already. Find me on Instagram over at JammieJ23, JammieJ23. And until next time, bye. Whoopsie daisy.